This is at Boulder City at the Grand Canyon. So this is a flight that I did recently in a helicopter in a Grand Canyon tour. That's on there. That should be on mute. And I've downloaded the Auto 4XP scenery, and I'm going to give that away basically. So all this scenery that you see here, the photorealistic scenery, it's free to download. I've done it. It's a bit involved in order to get it. If you've done it before, you'll know. So for your convenience, basically, I'm uploading it. I'm going to upload it and give you a link. You can download it yourself. It's about 24 gigabytes. It stretches all the way from Boulder City right through to the base of the Grand Canyon. So I'm going to upload that tonight. If you're watching it on YouTube, just check out the link below this video. And if you're watching on Twitch, then bear with me. It'll be on the Twitch page tomorrow because I'm going to upload it tonight. Right, so let's start the flight then. I've got this new flight stick, so I'm still sort of like getting used to that. We'll pause it and see if we can set the altimeter because I'm having trouble. Nope, can't get to set the altimeter. Let's not kill the engine. Stage flaps down. We're already moving. Let's take the brake off. Let's just go for it. Let's take off at Boulder City. Oh, I'm all over the runway. Try and compensate for the engine. And let's get to about, there you go, takeoff speed. I'll climb at 60 knots, preferably. When the altimeter gets to 600, I know I'm about 200 feet. I'll keep going up to 800 to take the flaps away. Let's turn in into to the left. And what we'll do is we'll fly over the Hoover Dam, and then I'll fly over to the Grand Canyon and take you into the Grand Canyon, basically simulating the same flight that I did on the helicopter tour. Right, flaps away. Let's get it to climbing speed of, what do we want, 70 knots. I'm going to take it to about 1,500 feet and then fly over the Hoover Dam. So yeah, like I say, the scenery is really worth it. It's 24 gigabytes to download. Just drop that into your custom scenery folder in X-Plane and you'll have the scenery. It's amazing how they have managed to have a golf course in the desert. One thing that you don't get from the simulator is the incredible amount of heat that there is in the atmosphere at this place. It's so it's in the desert near Las Vegas, just to the west of it. We were there in July, and it was about 50 degrees centigrade. You basically couldn't stay outside for more than about 5 minutes without baking. So you want to make sure you've got your air conditioning on inside of the cabin. Okay, I'm going to come out of the climb now. I want to get to about 18 knots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it for that. See if we can get to 80 knots. I'll just come around to the left a bit. There we go. Still climbing, let's trim. Need to see the trim wheel for this. Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. Come on, X-Plane. There we go. Guys, tricky between actually getting the trim and leaving the flight stick alone. But there we go. I think we're trimmed, and there we are. So just to our right, we have the, what do we have? We have the Hoover Dam. So we're coming over any moment now. Thanks, Tom. Second ever Twitch stream, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm still trying to get used to the technology. I want to do this regularly. Practice my flying. Earlier this year, actually got a license. I converted my license to add a single simple engine to my NPPL, which is basically the same as an ESA PPL at that point. So I've done a few lessons in the Cessna 152 intensively earlier on in this year, and haven't actually flown it since about March. So pretty rusty. I went ahead and bought the Cessna 152 payware aircraft from X-Plane so that I could practice my flying in it, and I want to do this quite regularly. Oh, okay. In order to get over the Hoover Dam, I need to take a bit of a left. Sorry, a bit of a right. Let's get over it. You'll see how ridiculously it's rendered the bridge in a second. So the thing about X-Plane is whenever I do any maneuver whatsoever, it just completely goes out of trim again. Stay in trim. And there we go. There is the Hoover Dam, ladies and gentlemen. So the bridge actually sweeps over. X-Plane hasn't been able to render that properly. But I think it's done a really good job with the Hoover Dam, considering its flat satellite imagery from up above. It sort of stretched it onto the 3D mesh really well. Okay, let's come left. Let's head over now to the. So that might get better frame rate. Let's head over to the Grand Canyon. So we'll be heading at the far west side of the Grand Canyon and coming in at the base, and then I'll just do a flight into the Grand Canyon. It's basically the same route that we took. It's the exact same route that we took on the helicopter. This is where we went. It's really good value for money as well. It was about $350 for I think it was a 75-minute flight to the Grand Canyon and back. I think that's good value for money in a helicopter, whichever way you look at it, let alone flying through the Grand Canyon, which is just obviously epic, and flying over the Hoover Dam.